Alright, I thought maybe I should explain a little more about something. I've been doing the fucking internet, the stock shit. I was initially just planning on day trading and shit like that, and fucking, I decided that after doing a bunch of researches on different companies and corporations and things and stuff and things, the best bet was to, oh, I'm getting my weed out. The best bet was to index. So I'm gonna get stoned. So I gotta go out here and deal with this shit show circus. So I'm fucking, yeah. So there's two American companies. I got one that I'm using for long term. Although to buy in, you gotta have $100 initially. I don't know about any future installments. I plan on throwing in at least $200 a month myself. So I'm gonna throw in 100 in that because that's my long term. That's solid foundations. I can in the future post some screenshots of the stocks that I'm getting involved in. But that's basically like Boeing, which is cheaper than the other ones, but they're getting the aerospace and everything else. I'm thinking of the future. That's long term. So I'm thinking aerospace and underwater development, water desalination, tactical gear, military purposes. And some of them companies have their own, I guess you say, mercenary organizations, or they're basically soldiers for hire that work for them. They got their own private armies that they contract out to governments and missiles and things and stuff like that. So I figure that if it's an American company and they're doing that, of course they're about making money, although the U.S. government knows about it, therefore it's in the U.S. best interest to do so. And they're generally companies and organizations that have been around for 100 years or more. You need mining. It's like opening up a game on Facebook or something where you got to build a city. What do you need to build a city? You got to have mines, and then you got to have schools, and then you got to have this, and you got to have that. That's your long-term investments. I'm not going to have no long-term investment that's owned by a company outside of the United States. Now, my day trade investment, because I got a midterm, and that one's M1. I use M1 for my long term because you create the pie. And yeah, and you just sit on that. If you know the right ones to take, the right ones to get into, right now is the best time. I'm not hyping up anything. I'm just talking logical, common fucking sense that everything's all fucked off right now. It's all chaotic. Everybody's restructuring. And if you go through all this shit and you read that stuff, you see how many companies are leveraging themselves for loans to maintain and float, and how many companies are selling, just straight up selling off, taking the money and running. And so if you research them companies who are leveraged to in everything else, there's a lot of restructuring going on. It's not going to stabilize anywhere to normal for the next couple fucking years. So this is the perfect time to get in on some stocks that are very, very down. And if you're patient and don't allow your emotions to make your decisions for you, even though you feel them, because you're human, and you feel the emotions, but you don't let them choose. Because you're the driver of the fucking bus. We're all our own gods. So you're the driver of the bus. We're all our own fucking gods of our own fucking self and our own fucking bus and our own fucking choices. You invite as many demons onto that fucking bus as you want, but you're responsible because you're the driver. So, in as such, take you all into a whole metaphysical and psychological and all kinds of other different directions. Anyhow, So, the M1, long term, I use that for long term. And number ones I'm going to sit on, hopefully, if I live long enough, start actually adding, seeing how many zeros I can add onto my shit because I am made for this. I finally found what it is I want to be in life. It only took 48 years, almost 49. And, well, fuck. Found what I'm going to be fucking awesome at. Well, besides, I always did everything above average, but I'm talking about I'm going to kick the shit out of these motherfuckers. I fucking can't go pee nowhere or shit nowhere. Urinate or defecate if you want me to use different words. Can't urinate or defecate nowhere without it being illegal. Although they better not arrest me for it. And if they do, I'll beat it in court because they don't want me to set case precedent for that because then they won't be able to have the opportunity to be able to fuck with people for forcing them to piss and shit outside. You know, fight COVID, cleanliness, wash your hands, sanitize. But you can't take a shower anywhere if you're homeless. See, the one thing they don't have in that whole anti-discrimination law in the United States of America is economic standing. You can be as gay as you want, black, brown, purple, green, blue as you want. You can have as many, I don't know, dicks and pussies and tits as you want. You have all that stuff and you can't tell them no. But where in there does it have any stipulation within regards to economic standing? So if you're perceived as a poor person or a rich person or an affluent person in a poor area, it is completely legal to discriminate against that individual based on their economic standing. So why is this not in the law? I mean, I can be green, have like 10 dicks, 10 pussies, you know, maybe have some ribs, extra ones sewn in. I don't know. Be multiple colors and say I do multiple religions, which I don't believe in, by the way. I'm spiritual, not religious. I would not believe in something that somebody wants to goddamn take advantage of the world and kill people because they don't believe in what they believe in. Everybody's got their own free will. But, so yeah, I can have all that shit. And I can have shit too. I can start a religion where it's, I get to eat shit. It's part of my religion right here in front of everybody. Anyhow, probably sell shit cakes. Fuck it. But so yeah, kind of lost track a little bit. I'm kind of stressed out. I gotta go charge my shit. Still learning all this. Oh yeah, M1. So that's long term. I'm doing Robinhood for my more midterm shit that I would sell. But it's kind of fucked up when you're trying to learn. Because I got into Webull first because I was thinking day trade. Do it all through one program. Then I found out that it's an American company owned by the Chinese. So I just use that for day trading only. All my other trading are through the American companies. Of course, Robinhood had a little bit of shit that happened in the past. Although, as a result, now they got government officials up their ass making sure that they're going to fucking goddamn be proper and appropriate. And so I'm going to leave all my money within the borders. And by the way, the Chinese do own several different freaking ports all across the country. Shipping ports in the United States. They've been buying up real estate around the ocean because basically if you own all the land outside of a little body of water or even the outside of all the land, they got to pay you to get in unless you can fly in. But then there's the whole airspace thing and everything else. A lot of technicalities if you go down and start thinking about things like I do all the fucking time. Therefore, potential war with China. Although we put them where they're at, you know, and the Russians. So, well, yeah, we tried for the democracy in China, but the fucking Russians were the ones that were supporting them more than we were, I guess. That's what they wanted, that's what they chose. So, that's where they're at. Living like rats in cages. Shit. That's why they've been walking around with masks for fucking years, which is why the United States has had the highest death rate, because there's so many motherfuckers here who thought they were fucking safe all the time because they were here. Why do you think them bitches in China were wearing masks? Why do you think they show that shit on TV? They're wearing that shit for a fucking reason. So there's so many motherfucking goddamn Chinese. You get that many people on each other. That's why I'm investing in desalination plants, of course, because it's a large body of water. Underwater construction, habitat, manufacturing, aerospace, flight, underwater, because we can only expand so far on this planet before we are living like rabbits in a cage like they do in fucking China. So we're going to have to go up or go down. Well, I prefer to think of it as all-encompassing, go every direction, inward and outward, every way. Bring out the spirit of adventure, the future of humanity. So, what we do, we invest in the foundation of humanity. And when I say humanity, I'm not just talking about fucking people. We all live in a symbiotic relationship. You got like 10,000 different fucking organisms in a symbiotic relationship living on your body right now, and if they weren't there, you would cease to exist. Well, you would exist for a couple days if you went outside, I guess. You can be a bubble baby. You pop that bubble, you're gonna live just fine. Be a happy motherfucker for 2 days. So I'd rather eat a mud pie instead of being a bubble baby and bathing in sanitizer all day long. But I'll buy into fucking Pfizer and own part of the company that sells it to you. I'll eat a fucking goddamn mud pie that I peed on. Well, hopefully it's my pee. Then you use that to actually disinfect wounds and shit if it's yours. Somebody else's can infect you. And be careful. When you get in fighting game rooms on the street and you scrape your hand on the ground, it's very possible, or hit somebody in the mouth, to get a strep throat infection in your hand, which a day and a half later will almost be going up into your armpit. And you'll want to cut your arm off because it's so painful, and then you end up 4 days in the freaking hospital getting antibiotics, major antibiotics pumped into your ass, and then a big prescription of them when you get out 4 days later. Although the hamburgers are good and the nurses are fun to play with, so that's always nice. Especially when you got an intellect like mine. And I've dated a lot of caregivers and nurses and things and stuff. So I guess they want to save the bad boy. They're just like to have fun. Anyhow, fucking yeah. So where was I going again? Oh yeah, all right. So Robin Hood, yeah, they had their issues with the legal system for a minute there because they were getting fucked up. And Webull has an office in New York. It's run by an American with an American name, of course, white guy. And it's basically a Chinese-owned place. So I will use them for day trading because I don't care where my day trading goes. That's just plucking. I get paid for feeding off people's fears and just following my instincts and staying alive. Yeah, I need some zeros, and I'm dedicated, And I do everything I've ever done has been above average if I decide I want to. And this is chosen. So this will happen. And it's gonna happen, and I don't care what the fuck anybody thinks. But 5 years from now, see how many zeros I have. I'm not gonna be like that other bitch on YouTube, talking all that shit, trying to give tutorials, and then come back crying. Oh, I'm $5 up above. I know it's been a long time. I fucked up. A lot of my emotions get the better of me and tried to be the superhero. No such thing as a superhero. There ain't no such thing as a fucking hero. There's people, fight or flight. Do what you're gonna do. And I decided what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try not to save your ass. There's a camera. I'm not gonna try to save your ass. I'm gonna try to save our asses. And plant my seeds wherever I can, whether biological or metaphysical or whatever, psychological. And if one of them bears fruit to help us all exist and maintain higher intelligence and self-awareness, then my life meant something, didn't it? And I don't want recognition. Let Donald Trump stand on the stage and get shot. Or that bitch that stayed with her husband and fucked some bitch with a cigar and fucking had her suck his dick. Not herself to get caught in the Oval Office, dumbass. Peace out.